Hi guys, Nick here. As promised, these are the videos that I'm uploading, or that you should see, should I say. This is me at El Monte Airport in California, and I'm in a Cessna 172 with the registration of November 114 Whiskey Papa. I'm lining up for takeoff now. We've just had clearance, and the prop effect does make me go to the left quite a bit here. So I'm just trying to add a little bit of right rudder to bring it back onto the centre line. However, I rotate before we actually physically get to the centre line. Just after takeoff from runway 19er here at El Monte, you basically follow the wash, which is a little bank to the right slightly, and then we're going to do a left bank to the practice area where we can start doing our manoeuvres. The manoeuvres that I've done today were steep turns, slow flying, and some simulated forced landings. We're just making the turn now to the practice area, which is over the Santa Anita Dam, also follows over top of the Miller factory, and goes down to a speedway before Brackett Airport. It was quite bumpy today, and the effects of that were felt. One of my many issues as starting out doing the PPL is that I'm so used to Flight Simulator that I'm actually looking inside the aircraft too much at the instruments, instead of relying on the outside horizon that you can see there. So what Charlie, my instructor, decided to do is get the screen cover for when the aircraft's on the ground to stop the inside of the aircraft getting hot and cover the instruments, just to try and get me to feel the forces of the ascent and descent and try and work out from the horizon whether or not that I'm actually climbing or descending. It proved to be effective. However, the slightest ascent and descent, I'll be honest, on my body at the minute, I couldn't feel it, to be fair. So I did find it hard to keep that straight and level flight. We were at 3,500 feet, and as we checked, we had climbed. And then on another try we did descend, so it wasn't that effective for my second lesson in. However, I'm sure, hopefully, that I do get to understand the feelings without having to look at the instruments inside the flight deck. It's definitely a different way of flying, knowing that you can't actually see your instruments, having to really rely on what you've got around you outside to make that judgment of whether or not you are, in fact, cruising straight and level. And the mountainous terrain to the left here does make it quite hard to try and work out your horizon level. So now we're going to do the steep turns, and we're going to do a steep turn to the left, and it's going to be a 45-degree bank. Checking on the left first, checking we're clear, and then performing the turn. The forces on this 45-degree bank are quite something if you've never felt it before, and the initial reaction of the plane as soon as you make the bank is that it is going to dive. It is going to start going down, as you can see. So to counteract that, we need to add quite a bit of back pressure to the yoke as we start to make the turn. So here was a simple little mistake. The instructor got his left from his right the wrong way. However, we're starting to make the turn to the left again. A 45-degree bank is much different from a 20 or 30-degree bank, whereas when you are pulling back on the yoke, you feel the effects of the G-force a lot more. We're now going to do one to the right. And then we start to roll out the aircraft back to the heading about 10 degrees before we actually get to the heading, just to make sure we are on that set heading that we started off at. So as you can see from the outside forward of the cockpit here, we've got the mountains right in front of us, the foothill, and today we were actually flying over them, which did add to a little bit of the turbulence that we did encounter later on. It was my first time being over that kind of terrain. It was quite different, obviously, looking out the left and looking underneath you compared to previous flight where we just had greenery and houses and streets and roads. It was a fantastic lesson. And also it was just a fantastic time to actually focus on the aircraft, to not to rely too much on obviously my strengths to make the aircraft do what it wanted to do, just to relax and the aircraft follows. We were up there for a total of 1.6 hobs. And the landings that we did do later on, unfortunately at the time the camera did run out of filming, and I've edited this down quite a bit to get within the 10 minutes that's needed. So we did do some slow flying as well as simulated engine failure, which is fantastic because the instructor Charlie, he would say, "Oh Nick, look at that out to your left," and then he'd pull the throttle back, and then it would just be all go of trying to obviously do the simulated landing. So thanks for watching, guys, and next lesson in about 2 weeks' time, hopefully we'll have more video. Thank you.